So you beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to speak about the fact that we may be seeing the return of Raid in Season 1 in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And I've got to ask that question, is this being introduced because it's a fan favourite, or is it just lazy development? Now, if you enjoy the video at any portion, please don't forget to drop a like. And if you are new here, consider subscribing with the notification bell clicked so you get my Call of Duty videos as soon as they are published. So it seems now a default process for the developers and Activision to implement a fan favorite map when things aren't quite going as well with Call of Duty. That's how it seems to me anyway. I mean, most of the games that we've received over the last few years, you could say they were short of, or very short of, a few maps, and it was one of the initial complaints that most of us would have. Now, I feel in a way that bringing back classic maps, I can see the appeal for it, but not in the way that it's currently being done. And I also feel like there's a counter argument. So Raid would go down, in my personal opinion, as one of the best multiplayer 6v6 maps in Call of Duty history. It is such a balanced map for all game modes. It's so much fun. It's predictable. There's a great flow to it. There's plenty places to have a ruckus for all types of playstyles. I mean, famously, you would have seen Thunder and Black Worm camp in that particular room, and that video went on to get millions of views. So most people can rush around in there, but you can camp, you can do what you like on that map. But the main thing I would say about it is lines of sight. There's places you can hold down and make your own. There's parts of the map that you can rotate around and pick people off and keep moving without actually having to go around the whole entire map, and kind of work your way up to your streaks before you go on a real big skirmish and start venturing into other portions. The free lanes, it's a classic Treyarch map and what they are famous for in Call of Duty multiplayer. But that's kind of where it ends with the remakes, because remakes just keep getting regurgitated in Call of Duty. A portion of me does feel like I'm getting robbed. I spend top dollar on this game every year. Most Call of Duties, I have brought the top edition that you can get. Couldn't do that this year because there wasn't really a top edition, so I just brought the cross-generational one so I could play on my PlayStation 4 and then drop it onto my PlayStation 5 when it was released. But when you pay top dollar, you expect to get this product with new stuff. I mean, who would really just buy something that they've already got but in new packaging? It's one of those things that the Call of Duty community seems to accept willingly. I mean, look at Nuketown. I've already expressed on Twitter, and you can follow my Twitter down in the description, that I wasn't impressed that Nuketown was coming back for the 5th time in Call of Duty. It's the 4th reincarnation of the map, and it's boring now to me anyway, and it's got to a point now where spawn trapping is just a real problem. The other thing is, yes, the dynamics of the game have changed and the people have definitely changed as well. So people are more susceptible to do different things on the remakes, and I can see that's another reason why the developers may choose to make them. I mean, I've saw today Modern Warzone has come out and said that he believes it's the player base that destroys remakes. But I'm not going to say it's all of the player base. I'm going to swiftly point back to the video I done yesterday about Infinity Ward's handling of Modern Warfare and encouraging people to camp. They are the people that will come over, and these remakes may not feel the same, because in my personal opinion, the remakes like Slums on Black Ops 4 were great, and I didn't even like that game, but I was very happy to play Slums on Black Ops 4. I thought it played very, very well, even though that game was very frustrating because it just had so much going on in terms of the specialists. But overall, that classic, it's just been made in such a good way, as is Raid, where I don't think there is a way you can ruin that map at all. You kind of are forced to play a certain way, and that is how Call of Duty, as I've stated previously, should be played, run and gun, with a few campers doing what they do in the windows. Now, the other side of these things is it's almost a really lazy thing, and I think it's lazy development, because every time we have had a shortfall in maps, every time we have complained as a community about how they've handled handle the maps and the maps not being good, the default thing they do is they throw out an old map. They've done it with Nuketown already. They're about to do it with Raid. I would much prefer to see one of two things here. The number one thing I would love to see is how about developing some really, really good maps that we can turn back on and say, you know what? That map, X map from this game, that's a classic. That's definitely going to be a future classic. And in further down the line, we look back and say, yeah, what a good map. The second thing they could do is to go and redevelop maps that we haven't constantly had every single Call of Duty when they have failed in the maps department, because that seems to be a common theme in Call of Duty right now. We keep getting these convoluted maps with no flow, and it's very clear who they cater to, the newer player. And then you wonder why the player base is just not moving, which is a massive complaint right now. I said yesterday, yesterday's video, that stuff like Azir Cave, come on, it's got to be one of the worst maps in Call of Duty's history. And I believe a lot of the maps in Modern Warfare 2019 would follow the same path. But then they brought back Shipment. Yeah. We'll throw in Shipment. It's a classic. Give us some maps like Grid. Grid is one of the most underrated maps in Call of Duty history, in my personal opinion. It had something for everybody. It had the two main buildings where people could camp in the window, drop down your goods and get ready with your sentry gun and all that stuff. But there was so much open space that when you did bring in stuff like a chopper gunner or the Hind, it really actually went to town and you genuinely felt like you was rewarded for going on a kill streak. That's a real lacking thing right now, and I know in Black Ops Cold War they've chose to give everyone streaks anyway, but you still have to have a degree of skill to get the very top streaks like the AC-130. I would love to see something like Grid return. Combine, I know it wouldn't necessarily work in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, but Combine is one of the best maps I have played in recent years in Call of Duty. Obviously, it had advanced movements, but the play of that map was so good. Even Fringe was just another map that I absolutely loved on Black Ops 3. And I believe that Fringe might actually work on a boots on the ground Call of Duty. I genuinely believe that it would have a chance of doing that. I'm sure you guys could tell me down in the comment section a load of maps that you would love to see that have never been remastered. Now, let me make it clear here. I'm not a massive fan of remastered maps. I do like them. I do like the familiarity. It does bring back a bit of nostalgia. But at the main forefront of this argument, I feel like it's lazy development, in my personal opinion. You change a few textures, most of the work's been done for them, and they're cashing in. They are literally cashing in from people's affection for particular maps. So it has to go down for me as the number one, which is to make a new map that you've worked on thoroughly, worked on the lines of sight, worked on the flow of the map, and you release that and give us a brand new classic that we can adore in Call of Duty. That's what will keep fans on this game, trust me, is a bit of predictability, because you can learn maps and you can become better at maps, and that's part of a skill in Call of Duty. That's part of the skill gap, and it's no secret that Joel Seacott made it very clear. They made the maps more porous in Modern Warfare, so there was plenty of angles you could be shot from. And a part of me feels like someone from Modern Warfare or Infinity Ward oversaw the designs of the maps in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, because I don't believe for a second David Vondar or anyone from Treyarch has touched these maps. Checkmate, for instance, Checkmate, you can be shot from all sorts of angles on that game, and no wonder people don't really want to move. Couple that with the fact that Modern Warfare 2019 has taught a lot of new players not to move, and you've got yourself a real problem. So Raid is returning, and that is good news. The player base argument is one I struggle with, because a good map, if it's designed properly, it doesn't matter what you do on it. People are going to work in the way that the map should work, and it will encourage that flow and movement. when you've got a map where you can get shot from all sorts of angles, it encourages less movement. So bad development, lazy development, whatever you want to call it, they need to pull their finger out and start giving us what we deserve, especially for people who are paid. This is not a free-to-play game, I might add, so I'm not really understanding the consolation prize of remastered maps. Yes, I'm happy to receive one remastered map, but I'd rather receive one remastered map and 3 brand new maps that are very playable and are designed very, very well. So let me know down in the comment section, guys, what was the best map you have ever played in Call of Duty history, and what would you like a remaster of that hasn't been remastered? Or are you on the same page as me where you believe they shouldn't be remastering anything and we should be getting some brand new quality maps? Guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but the like and subscribe button, I hope they took your fancy, and as always guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.